Please welcome back to The Late Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, and Jimmy Fallon.
It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
I happen to love that show, and Stephen Colbert has a great delivery of the amazing writing that his staff puts together. It's really well done.
I really loved it. I loved the Colbert Report. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the Colbert.
Something about this story just doesn't add up. The biggest late-night show in America, the most watched, one of the most awarded, and fresh off its first Emmy win, suddenly got canceled. Not because viewers disappeared, not because the host wanted out. The show was averaging 2.7 million viewers a night and had dominated the ratings for 9 straight seasons. Yet CBS still decided to shut it down. Then, almost immediately after Stephen Colbert addressed the situation on air and made comments that seemed to make certain people uneasy, the cancellation announcement followed just days later.
The outrage that your show is being thrown off the air?
Yeah.
So what really happened? Why is one of late-night TV's most recognizable voices getting ready to leave the Ed Sullivan Theater for good? The twist is that Colbert never saw it coming. He was on vacation when everything unfolded. His manager reportedly knew for weeks, but waited before breaking the news. While Colbert was away from the spotlight, CBS executives were reportedly discussing the future of a show that had become one of the biggest late-night success stories in television history. Stephen Colbert didn't learn about the decision until the evening of July 16, 2025. The very next morning, he stepped onto the stage at the Ed Sullivan Theater and told the audience himself. CBS reportedly planned to announce it on their own schedule, but Colbert got there first. What made the moment stand out was how calm and respectful he was. He thanked the roughly 200 people who helped produce the show every day and spoke warmly about the place that had been his TV home for a decade.
And I do want to say that the folks at CBS have been great partners. And of course, I'm grateful to you, the audience, who have joined us.
Then came the part that hit many viewers hard. He explained that he wasn't being replaced and that the show itself was ending. He even said he wished someone else could have carried it forward. That made the announcement feel much bigger than a host leaving. It signaled the end of a television institution. The Late Show, a CBS staple since 1993 through David Letterman's long run and later Colbert's years behind the desk, was simply coming to a close. When the audience reacted with boos, Colbert acknowledged them and said he felt the same way. It was a revealing moment that showed how much the show meant to its viewers.
Jon Stewart was on the other night, and he was talking to him about cancellation, and he gave Stephen Colbert some advice that David Letterman had told him that when just because you get canceled doesn't mean you're a failure, But in this case, as Jon Stewart says it, but then he turned to me and says, but in this case, you are a failure.
The comment that sparked even more questions came soon after. This is the part of the story that continues to spark debate. Just 3 days before CBS officially announced the cancellation, Colbert made headlines with comments on his show. Around that time, Paramount, the parent company of CBS, agreed to a $16 million settlement following a legal dispute with Donald Trump over how a 2024 campaign interview with Kamala Harris was presented. Colbert addressed this settlement during his monologue, offering sharp criticism of the network's decision, which turned out to be one of his final highly discussed political commentaries. Only days later, news broke that The Late Show was ending. CBS repeatedly stated that the decision was financial and tied to the difficult late-night TV landscape, not the show's ratings, content, or events involving Paramount. Even so, the timing immediately raised questions. Several prominent figures spoke out. Senator Elizabeth Warren said the public deserved to know whether political factors played any role. The Writers Guild of America also called for a review of the circumstances surrounding the cancellation, pointing to Paramount's pending merger with Skydance Media, which was awaiting regulatory approval at the time. After the regulatory approval moved forward, public debate intensified. Donald Trump shared his thoughts on Truth Social, expressing satisfaction with the show's conclusion and questioning Colbert's performance. In response, Colbert used his platform to deliver a highly direct and memorable monologue, addressing the criticism head-on and marking one of the most intense moments of his final weeks on air. But before jumping to conclusions, there's also a financial side to this story that can't be ignored. Reports from people familiar with the situation claimed The Late Show was losing around $40 million a year. One journalist later argued that figure was overstated by at least $10 million, putting the loss closer to $30 million annually. Either way, the numbers were substantial. The bigger issue is that late-night television has been facing pressure for years. Viewers have spread across countless platforms. Streaming has changed viewing habits, and advertisers have shifted more money toward digital media instead of traditional late-night time slots. Even Colbert's biggest viral moments, including monologue clips that attracted millions of views online, reportedly didn't generate major revenue for CBS. The reason is simple. CBS didn't fully control the platforms where much of that audience was watching. That same business challenge helped bring an end to The Late Late Show with James Corden. The difference was that Colbert's program was the network's flagship late-night franchise, its biggest name and most prestigious property in that slot.
How many of you have made out with a guest on camera?
Why would you look at me like that?
Because I think you've made out with guests on camera.
No, I think you just wanted to make out with me.
Unlike the 12:35 time slot, there wasn't an obvious low-cost replacement that carried the same prestige or audience appeal. What makes this more interesting is that Colbert was an executive producer on After Midnight, the show that followed The Late Late Show with James Corden. That gave him a front-row seat to the financial pressures facing late-night television. So it's not as if he was unaware of the business realities. Still, many observers found the speed of the decision surprising. Reports suggested there was little opportunity to explore major cost-cutting ideas before the cancellation moved forward, leading some people to question whether finances alone explained everything. CBS later announced that the 11:35 slot would be filled by Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed, a comedy game show with a very different style and far less focus on political commentary. To understand Colbert, though, it helps to look at his personal story. When he was 10 years old, his father and two brothers died in the crash of Eastern Airlines Flight 212 near Charlotte, North Carolina, in September 1974. Colbert was the youngest of 11 children, and that tragedy changed his family forever. Over the years, he has spoken about the loss without asking for sympathy. Instead, he has often credited his mother for teaching him how to endure heartbreak without becoming consumed by bitterness. Hurt, yes, but never bitter. Colbert has also spoken about a period in his early adulthood when he struggled with faith. He has said that by age 22, he considered himself an atheist, before later returning to his Catholic beliefs after what he described as a chance encounter with a stranger. Those experiences helped shape the person audiences would later come to know. His path into comedy wasn't the story of someone chasing easy money or fame. For Colbert, humor became a way to process difficult ideas and life's toughest moments while still finding meaning in them.
Anytime you want to come on, be the greatest. I love you so much.
Well, like when would be helpful to you?
Well, take your time.
He attended Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia before transferring to Northwestern University, where he earned a theater degree in 1986. After moving to Chicago, he joined the Second City and met future creative partners Amy Sedaris and Paul Dinello. Together, they created Exit 57 for Comedy Central, a sketch series that earned 5 Cable Ace Award nominations. Early on, Colbert even applied for a writing job at The Late Show with David Letterman, but didn't get it. His big break came in 1997 when producer Madeline Smithberg brought him onto The Daily Show on a trial basis. He eventually became the longest-serving correspondent in the show's history. That journey is what makes this moment stand out. Colbert's career wasn't built overnight. It came from years of persistence, setbacks, and steady work that turned him into one of the most recognizable figures in television comedy. When Stephen Colbert took over for David Letterman in September 2015, plenty of people had doubts. Letterman had owned the 11:35 time slot for 22 years and had become a television institution. Colbert faced a different challenge. He was stepping out from the satirical character that made him famous on The Colbert Report and appearing as himself on a major network stage.
Who's most likely to be doing a Cash for Gold commercial in the next 5 years?
The transition wasn't smooth at first. His debut season struggled with ratings, the show's identity felt unclear, and critics questioned its direction. Things reached a low point after a post-Super Bowl special in early 2016 that many reviewers viewed as a major disappointment, especially considering the massive audience watching. Then the show's trajectory changed. Following the 2016 presidential election, Colbert's monologues became more focused, direct, and personal. His commentary connected with viewers, and the program quickly found a stronger identity. Audience interest surged, and the ratings followed. By the 2016 to 2017 season, The Late Show became the highest-rated late-night program in America for the first time since the Letterman years, drawing more than 3.2 million viewers per night. By 2018 to 2019, it also surpassed The Tonight Show among adults ages 18 to 49, a milestone no CBS late-night show had achieved since 1994. The show stayed on top for 9 straight seasons. Through the pandemic, industry disruptions, regulatory scrutiny, and major changes in television, The Late Show remained the highest-rated program in late night until CBS chose to bring it to an end. What made that run special wasn't just the ratings. It was the way Colbert approached interviews. He often moved beyond standard celebrity promotion and into deeper conversations. During the COVID era, he spoke with Joe Biden about grief. A discussion with Dua Lipa unexpectedly touched on faith and personal beliefs. He even got Michelle Obama to do an impression of Barack Obama on camera. Those moments stood out because guests frequently opened up in ways audiences didn't expect. That kind of honesty is difficult to create and usually comes from years of building trust. Colbert built that trust over time. As the final episodes approached in 2026, something unusual happened. Late-night TV is normally a fierce competition, but many of the hosts who were technically his rivals came to the Ed Sullivan Theater. They weren't there to compete. They were there to show respect and support as the end drew near. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver all appeared together during Colbert's second-to-last week on air. Colbert introduced them as his closest friends in television and joked that with all 5 of them in one place, Jon Stewart had officially become the designated survivor. The atmosphere felt relaxed, funny, and surprisingly emotional, like a group of people who had been through the same battles together. In many ways, they had. During the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike, the 5 hosts teamed up to create Strike Force 5, a podcast designed to support staff members affected by the work stoppage. Proceeds went to writers, producers, and crew members whose jobs had been put on hold. The series ran for 12 unscripted episodes and quickly became a fan favorite. Kimmel also revealed that he would not air a new episode on the night of Colbert's finale. Instead, he planned to run a repeat, choosing not to compete for attention on such a significant night. That decision spoke volumes about the respect Colbert had earned across the industry. Then came David Letterman. When he returned to the Ed Sullivan Theater, the venue where he spent more than 2 decades making television history, the audience greeted him with a standing ovation. Letterman spoke passionately about the situation, making it clear he was unhappy with how events had unfolded. He reminded the crowd of the show's legacy and argued that while many things can be taken away, a person's voice cannot. His closing remarks drew a huge reaction and left little doubt about where he stood. Barack Obama also stopped by in the weeks leading up to the finale. During their conversation, he suggested, partly in jest, partly not, that Colbert might want to think about running for office someday. Obama noted that expectations around political leadership had changed dramatically in recent years, making the idea seem less far-fetched than it once might have. The final curtain and what comes next. The final 4 episodes of The Late Show were announced on May 15, 2026. The schedule immediately got people talking. On Monday, May 18th, the show aired the worst of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which was specifically described as not a clip show. That unusual description hinted that Colbert had something more creative planned. Tuesday, May 19th, featured Jon Stewart and Steven Spielberg, along with a live performance by David Byrne and Colbert. Stewart's appearance carried extra weight. He had been Colbert's mentor at The Daily Show and later became one of the most outspoken critics of the cancellation, arguing that the story involved more than simple business concerns. On Wednesday, May 20th, Colbert turned the tables on himself by answering his own famous Colbert questionnaire, joined by surprise guests. Bruce Springsteen was also scheduled to perform. Then came Thursday, May 21st, the finale. CBS kept the details tightly under wraps, leaving viewers wondering what surprises might be waiting in the show's final moments. The confirmed guest list for the finale already looked like a television hall of fame. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, David Letterman, Tom Hanks, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Pedro Pascal, and The Strokes were all set to take part. It was an all-star farewell for a show many viewers felt still had plenty of life left in it. As for Colbert's future, plans were already in motion long before the cancellation became public. In March, Warner Brothers announced that Colbert would be co-writing a new Lord of the Rings film with his son, Peter. The project reportedly began years earlier when the pair pitched the idea directly to director Peter Jackson, who responded positively to the concept. For longtime fans, the move made perfect sense. Colbert is famous for his deep knowledge of J.R.R. Tolkien's world. He's the kind of fan who once recited an extensive biography of Aragorn from memory on television, a moment that later inspired Viggo Mortensen to send him a collection of Lord of the Rings-themed chocolate creations. According to comments Colbert made in March, he had always believed it would be difficult to balance a major film project with the demands of a nightly television show. Then, unexpectedly, his schedule changed. By the end of his run, Colbert had accumulated 11 Emmy Awards, 2 Grammys, 3 Peabody Awards, and an astonishing 1,801 episodes across 11 years on The Late Show, the longest ratings-winning streak in Late Show franchise history. A show that finally captured its first Emmy for Outstanding Variety Talk Series in 2025, ironically, during the final season of its run. Behind that success was a man who faced more than most people ever see. Stephen Colbert lost his father and 2 brothers at just 10 years old. He struggled with questions about faith in his early adulthood, dealt with panic attacks in his 30s, and at times wondered if pursuing a career in entertainment had been the wrong choice. Yet despite those challenges, he went on to lead the most watched late-night show in America for nearly a decade. Colbert admitted that this farewell wasn't happening on his preferred schedule. But in a surprising twist, the situation gave him something he didn't expect. More stories to tell, more reasons to speak his mind, and one final chapter with the audience that supported him through it all. When viewers in the studio learned the show was ending, they booed loudly. Colbert simply nodded and told them he felt the same way. That brief exchange said everything about the connection he built with his audience over the years. After the ratings victories, the awards, and 9 straight seasons at the top, what do you think really led to the end of The Late Show? Was it purely a business decision, or was there more to the story? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss future stories and deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.